Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be how I iron my pieces once I stitch them. Some people do not iron their pieces. I iron every single piece before I either do a canvas finish or before I even take it for framing. Even if it's in a scroll rod, I will still iron it. It doesn't take me very long. So, I have my most recent finish, the Hands-On Design December Year in Chalk. You can see I had this piece in a hoop for 2 weeks straight. That's how long it took me to finish it. So you can see there are hoop marks where the hoop was. So the tools that I use, I have this little mini iron by Sunbeam. I got this on Amazon. I want to say it was $15. It's fantastic. I love it. So, but you can use any iron. It doesn't have to be this one. I have my Quilter's Cut and Press that I got from Joann's. This is by June Taylor, I want to say. They have big ones. I have a small one. This is a 10 by 10, 12 by 12, something like that. It's double-sided. It has the puffy side where you can iron stuff, and then, I do my cutting on the other side for my finishing. Now, Best Press has been talked about a lot. I have it. When I watched Vanna's video and I saw that she used it, I went and bought some. I have used this, but before that, I was using just plain water in a spray bottle. So today, I'm just going to use plain water. Now, I will douse the back of this piece with water. I always iron from the back. I never iron from the front. So, I'm just going to spray it. I give it a good spray. And I will concentrate, especially if I will concentrate on the hoop marks. I'll make sure you can see that's pretty well doused. And then I just iron. And it will steam because it's water. And heat. But you can see it's coming out. You can see the hoop marks coming out. And I will just keep going back and forth. Now, when I'm actually on my stitching, I will press. But around the outside of it, and you can see it's coming out. Now, this is just the way I do it. It's not saying this way is right. This way works. It works for me. And remember, this is hand-dyed fabric. Now, the thread I'm using is DMC, but I've sprayed pieces that have had hand-dyed floss. I've never had them run. Now, when I have beads on a piece, like when I did the Peony Pixie, I'm very careful. I will put an extra cloth over the spots that have beads before I press on it, because I just don't want to damage the beads or melt them. I don't even know if you could melt them. But you can see it came out perfect. You don't see any hoop marks. Let me turn it over. Maybe a tiny bit, but you know what? I mean, that came out really, really good. And I know I just told you I don't iron from the front. I will iron around the edge on the front. I won't go over my stitches on the front with the iron. But yeah, that came out perfect. So don't be afraid to iron your pieces. And like I said, I know leaving stuff in a hoop is a big giant no-no. People have said that they've had hoop marks on their piece. I never have. And I am going to be stitching all of these chalk pieces in a hoop because of the size. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that helped. Showed you I can actually see a little bit. You know what? Before I sign off here, it's funny what you can see in the camera versus that got it out. That got it. But yeah, don't be afraid to spray your fabric with water. Yeah, that came out perfect. Look at that. Hey guys, okay. I wanted to film an addendum to this ironing video. I wanted to show you how I do Ada. Same concept, but you can see there are more creases in this than there were in the even weave. I am using a different iron. I have my cordless iron here that I just got. Now I still spray it with water, and I'll douse this pretty good. Well, I usually try to do it right where the creases are. You can see it's wet. And then I just iron it. And if there are any creases that are, I have to be honest, this iron does not get as hot as my corded one. But it does a good job. Maybe that's, I don't know. It's getting it out. But sometimes if there are, I will iron until all of the water is gone. Sometimes if there are creases that are more stubborn, I'll just spray it again. Like you can still see like the crease in the center where it was folded. I might spray that again because I'm going to be finishing this into a cube and not like framing it where I'd be stretching it. And you can also use Best Press. I've done that. But plain water works just as good. Yeah, that's actually, I mean, that looks pretty good, except you can still see just a little bit right there. So let me like really douse that. Don't be afraid to put water on your pieces. Well, now this is just DMC. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever ironed a piece like this that has over-dyed threads. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna pause while I continue to iron this, and then I'll show you the finished product. As you can see, I'm just about done, and I've gotten out that crease. Now, one thing I don't know if I mentioned, I always iron the wrong side of your piece. I never iron the front. And with this, all I did was I did this. I just kept going around in little circles right on that crease and pressing. I know, I think I'm shaking the thing, but see, it got it out. Like, that looks really good. It just takes some time. And let's face it, your stitched piece, I don't care if it's this small or giant, it's worth it. Now I can still see a tiny bit. So I don't like to iron directly on the front of the stitching, but I will iron around it. I mean, it's almost imperceptible that once I have it finished, you probably will not be able to see that. So that turned out pretty good. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching.